Okay, everybody. I was doing a video and I got cut off. I don't know what's going on with my phone. It's acting weird. As y'all remember, I had started these Epiphyllum cuttings on October the 2nd and on rooting them. I know a lot of y'all are probably like, well, they can't do nothing much right now. Just give them more time, be patient, and wait. Something told me to check them out now because I was curious. So I had looked into one, which is this one, and she has a very tiny root right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. There it goes. Very tiny roots coming out, so I was excited. But something said, you know what, check the rest. So I went ahead and I started pulling them out, or moving the sand one by one. And look, they are all, fully rooted. Every single one, even if they have just the tiniest little root, they have a root. You know, they're rooting. So I'm excited because they have all rooted for me. And as you can see, I only used sand. Literally just sand is what I used. As you can see it on here. It has a little bit of mulch and a little bit of garden soil in it. But as you can see, they have all rooted perfectly well for me. Each and every one of these has rooted. Look how long this one is. And it rooted with no problems. And I stuck them all in the same pot. Literally, all of them. In the same pot. So look at that. They look just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and pot them up in a larger pot. In the same pot. No, I'll probably give them a larger pot. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same pot or a larger pot because they did look extremely crowded in there, but they actually seem to like it, and I have them sitting on my shelf over there at the Stapelias. I decided to use sand because when I was using garden soil, it was drying out a lot, so I had to water it a lot, and then they would rot. I have some actually out there in that pot right there that are doing great, but that pot's not doing great. That one's mixed with sand. That one's just plain garden soil. And they weren't doing well. So I figured, well, the ones that in sand are doing well, then I'm sticking these in sand and see how they do. These absolutely love sand. I don't have to water them. They hold the moisture. Look at that. It's still wet. When I planted them on October the 2nd, look. It's still wet down at the bottom. The sand has not changed. It is like wet. I haven't watered or haven't done anything to it. The condensation that builds up from the moisture and the air and everything, it all does well. Look, found some roots. So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick to this method of just using just plain sand to root my succulents and stuff. And I actually did another succulent that I was having problems with. It was one of my Brave Variegatas. I just stuck her in the soil, or in the sand, and that's what I got off of her out of nowhere. So she looks alright. This was her original root, was drying out, and I put her in there, and she just sprouted out new roots at the bottom. So, just thought I'll give you a little tip about using the sand. I've never used it before. I've never tried to root these except for the other pots, and they were failing. And then my mom's dog knocked over her big plant, which is that one right there. And a lot of them got broke. That's why they're cut the way they're cut, because they got broke from the dogs. So I said, you know what, I'm going to pot these up and I'm going to save them for Mama. That way they don't die and she has another plant, or I get another plant out of it. And look at this. We got many. Each and every one of these will turn into its own plant. Not unless you stick them all together and make a full pot. But just thought I would share. Bye.